Columbo, 1971 to 1978, the iconic American television series, not only captivated audiences with its brilliant detective plotlines and Peter Falk's legendary portrayal of the titular character, but also showcased a vast array of talented actors. Over its 7 seasons, the show featured numerous guest stars, many of whom made lasting impressions. However, the passage of time has left a bittersweet legacy, as a staggering 41 of these actors, who once graced our screens in various memorable roles, have since passed away. Their tragic deaths serve as a poignant reminder of the fleeting nature of life, and their contributions to television and film remain cherished by fans and loved ones alike. As we reflect on the loss of these actors, we honor their performances that continue to live on through the enduring popularity of Columbo. Peter Falk, renowned for his portrayal of Lieutenant Columbo in the eponymous series, began playing the iconic role in 1971 at the age of 44. Columbo, with his disheveled appearance and sharp intellect, became the epitome of a brilliant detective, often outsmarting criminals through his seemingly absent-minded demeanor. However, Falk's personal life was marred by tragedy and personal hardship. He endured a tumultuous 32-year marriage to Alice Mayo, which ended in divorce in 1976 after years of tension and conflict, despite the couple adopting 2 children. Falk remarried actress Cherished in 1977, but this union was also fraught with difficulties, including infidelity and emotional distance. In his later years, Falk was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease, which gradually eroded his memory, even causing him to forget his beloved portrayal of Columbo. Falk passed away on June 23, 2011, at the age of 83, due to complications from pneumonia and Alzheimer's disease. His death marked the end of a prolific career, leaving behind a profound artistic legacy, yet also underscoring the personal struggles and sorrow that defined much of his life. John Finnegan, who played the first mechanic in Columbo, began his role in 1972 at the age of 46. Although his character's appearances were brief, Finnegan's portrayal contributed to the authenticity of the show's setting. However, his real life was far more troubled than the calm demeanor of his on-screen presence. Finnegan's first marriage ended in divorce, and he struggled with maintaining relationships with his children. Battling alcoholism and depression, both his personal and professional life were fraught with challenges. As career opportunities dwindled, Finnegan became increasingly isolated, eventually living his final years in solitude. His health deteriorated, and he eventually succumbed to pneumonia. John Finnegan passed away on July 29, 2012, at the age of 85, a man weighed down by past mistakes, broken relationships, and an incomplete career, leaving behind a largely forgotten legacy. Bruce Kirby, who portrayed Sergeant George Kramer in Columbo, began his role in 1973 at the age of 48. Kirby's character was a reliable and loyal presence, always ready to assist Columbo in solving complex cases. However, Kirby's personal life was far from the stability he portrayed on screen. His first marriage to actress Barbara Bistar ended in divorce, and they had 1 son together. The strain of the marriage led Kirby to face the challenges of raising his son alone while dealing with the emotional scars of a broken relationship. Despite a steady television career, Kirby struggled with financial instability and depression in his later years, feeling the weight of personal failure as his career began to decline. Bruce Kirby passed away on January 24, 2021, at the age of 95, from natural causes. While his life was dedicated to his craft, it was overshadowed by the pain of lost love and the difficulties of a troubled personal life. Vito Scotti, who portrayed Chadwick in Columbo, joined the series in 1973 at the age of 55. Scotti's character, a quirky and humorous figure, often provided light-hearted moments in contrast to the show's darker themes. However, Scotti's real life was marked by considerable hardship. His first marriage ended in divorce, and his second marriage was deeply affected by his wife's ongoing battle with depression. Her sudden passing left Scotti emotionally devastated. Along with this grief, his career began to stagnate, compounded by financial difficulties and personal sorrow. In his later years, Scotti was diagnosed with lung cancer, which rapidly deteriorated his health. Vito Scotti passed away on June 5, 1996, at the age of 78, leaving behind a life defined by sadness and loss. Despite his successful career, his personal life was marred by tragedy, overshadowing his achievements. Jack Cassidy, who portrayed the charming yet dangerous Ken Franklin in Columbo, made a lasting impression on audiences when he began the role in 1971 at the age of 44. Franklin, a sophisticated and cunning villain, became one of Columbo's most memorable adversaries with his intelligence and deceit. This role highlighted Cassidy's exceptional acting talent, which spanned television, film, and stage. Despite his success, Cassidy's personal life was turbulent. He married actress Shirley Jones in 1956, and they had 3 children together, but their marriage ended in divorce in 1974 due to Cassidy's alcoholism and infidelity. Though they attempted reconciliation, the damage was irreversible. Cassidy struggled with depression and addiction, which took a toll on his health and well-being. Tragically, Jack Cassidy passed away on December 12, 1976, at the age of 49 in a house fire, a devastating event that shocked his family and fans. His untimely death marked a tragic end to a promising life and career. Val Avery, who played Artie Jessup in Columbo, was a talented actor with a career spanning many decades. He began portraying Artie Jessup in 1971 at the age of 47, creating a tough, intelligent character who engaged in shady dealings, often placing him in opposition to Detective Columbo. This role left a lasting impression on fans, as Artie became one of Columbo's most formidable and interesting adversaries. Though Avery enjoyed a successful career, his personal life was far from fulfilling. He married twice and, despite having children, his second marriage ended in divorce, leaving him with deep emotional wounds. Despite his professional success, Avery struggled with loneliness and regret, often reflecting on the personal sacrifices he made for his career. In his later years, Avery's health declined, and he grew increasingly reclusive, distancing himself from the spotlight. He passed away on December 12, 2009, at the age of 85, from natural causes. Nevertheless, Val Avery left behind a solid film legacy with memorable roles, particularly as Artie Jessup in Columbo, and he will always be remembered as a talented actor. However, his life also reflected emotional isolation and unfulfilled relationships, highlighting a glorious career but also a personal life filled with pain. Arlene Martell, who portrayed the mysterious Gloria West in Columbo, left a strong impression with her performance in 1972 when she was just 36 years old. Gloria, an elegant and enigmatic woman, had a complex relationship with Detective Columbo, creating an intriguing dynamic between the two characters. Martell's portrayal captured the scheming nature and psychological depth of the character, enriching the depth of Columbo. Although Martell had a diverse and successful acting career, her personal life was filled with challenges. She was married 3 times and had 1 son, but her marriages were often emotionally turbulent. Unfulfilled romantic relationships and divorces led her to face feelings of lack of love and understanding. In the later years of Martell's life, she struggled with declining health, although her talent remained unwavering. She battled feelings of isolation and pain that she could not share. Arlene Martell passed away on August 12, 2014, at the age of 78, from a heart attack. Her death was a great loss to the entertainment world, as she left a significant mark in numerous television shows and films. Despite the tragedies and pain in her personal life, Martell is remembered as a talented actress with memorable roles, especially as Gloria West in Columbo, where she portrayed a charming and mysterious character. Her legacy will forever live on in the hearts of the audience. Robert Culp, who played Dr. Bart Keppel in Columbo, created a highly impressive image of an intelligent yet calculating character. When he started the role in 1971 at the age of 41, Culp portrayed a cunning Keppel, who frequently clashed with Detective Columbo, who approached cases with more practical methods. This role showcased Culp's sharpness and acting talent, and he left a lasting impression on the audience with his performances, especially in the series I Spy, where he also portrayed characters with psychological depth. However, Culp's personal life was not easy. He went through 2 marriages, first to actress Nancy Ashe and later to actress Candace Watson, but both ended in divorce. Culp's relationships with his children also encountered much tension, and he shared the emotional toll his career had on these relationships. In the final years of his life, he experienced loneliness and regret, as he faced emotional struggles and personal disappointments. Robert Culp passed away on March 24, 2010, at the age of 79, from a heart attack. His death was a great loss to the entertainment world. Richard Stahl, who played Ballistics Man in Columbo, left a deep impression with his performance when he began the role in 1972 at the age of 40. Ballistics Man, a meticulous forensic expert with knowledge of ballistics, played a key role in solving many tricky cases, and Stahl's precise, subtle acting made the character an essential part of the series. Stahl's ability to portray professionalism and careful attention made him a familiar face to audiences. However, beyond the screen, Stahl faced a painful reality. As he entered his later years, he was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, a condition that gradually deprived him of mobility and independence. The battle with this disease not only affected his health but also put a strain on his marriage, leaving him feeling isolated and unable to fully enjoy the career achievements he had made. The physical and emotional challenges forced him to live in the shadows of his struggles, even though his career was still celebrated. Richard Stahl passed away on June 18, 2006, at the age of 74, after a long battle with Parkinson's disease. His death was a significant loss to the entertainment industry, but his career legacy, especially his portrayal of Ballistics Man in Columbo, lives on in the hearts of fans. Patrick McGoohan, who portrayed Colonel Lyle C. Rumford in Columbo starting in 1974, made a strong impression with his portrayal of a strict and powerful character. When he began the role at the age of 46, he brought a disciplined and commanding presence to the screen. However, McGoohan's real life was filled with contradictions and inner turmoil. A man driven by personal demons, McGoohan led a complex life, with career triumphs but also challenges in his personal life. Despite his fame, his marriage to actress Kathleen was not as happy as expected, as professional ethics and career pressures created emotional distance between them. His sense of isolation grew as McGoohan was surrounded by inner conflict and an obsession with his work. Although he achieved great success in his career, including his iconic role in The Prisoner, his later years were haunted by feelings of alienation and loneliness. When his career opportunities began to dwindle, McGoohan struggled with negative emotions. He passed away on January 13, 2009, at the age of 80, after a brief illness. Nonetheless, his role in Columbo and other contributions to the entertainment industry will forever leave a lasting mark on audiences. Cliff Carnell, who played Officer Wilson in Columbo starting in 1972, portrayed a reliable and hard-working character who always supported Columbo in his investigations. When he began the role at the age of 40, he quickly became an essential part of the police team in this popular series. However, Carnell's real life was not as easy as the character he portrayed on screen. Although he was successful in his role in Columbo, his career began to decline after the show ended, as career opportunities became scarce. This created significant financial and emotional pressures, affecting his personal life. Carnell's once promising marriage broke down under the strain of his fading career and increasing disappointment. The inability to find stable work and the lack of close friends led Carnell to become isolated and live a lonely life. On September 4, 1993, Carnell passed away at the age of 61, and the exact cause of his death has never been clearly reported. Although Carnell's death marked a sad ending, his role in Columbo will always remain a mark in the hearts of fans of the show. Robert Vaughn, who played the charming and calculating Charlie Clay in Columbo in 1975, portrayed a sophisticated and intelligent character, skilled in manipulation and concealing his intentions. When he took on the role at 43 years old, Vaughn excelled in portraying complex characters, reflecting his long and impressive career in Hollywood. However, over time, Vaughn's career became increasingly difficult to maintain as the film industry shifted its focus to younger stars, forcing him to face feelings of professional decline and loneliness. Although his marriage to actress Linda Staub was a long and stable relationship, the pressures of aging and personal insecurities affected them in the later years. When Vaughn was diagnosed with acute leukemia, his once vibrant life was devastated by this cruel illness. His health deteriorated rapidly, and his later years saw a profound change as illness overshadowed his previous successes. Robert Vaughn passed away on November 11, 2016, at the age of 83, leaving an unforgettable mark on audiences with his classic roles, particularly as Charles Clay in Columbo. Wilfred Hyde White, who played Kittering Esq. in Columbo in 1972, portrayed a sophisticated, elegant, and charming character who used his intelligence and relationships to his advantage, adding class to Columbo's investigations. When he began the role at 69 years old, Hyde White portrayed a character full of grace, both sharp and captivating. However, his real life was not as bright as the image he projected on screen. Although he was married twice, Hyde White's personal life was filled with emotional distance and loneliness. His second wife, Betty, passed away in the 1980s after a long battle with illness, leaving him in emptiness. Although known for his charm and elegance in public, Hyde White struggled with feelings of isolation and regret in his later years. As his health began to decline and career opportunities dwindled, he felt more isolated. His final years were marked by loneliness, and he passed away on May 6, 1991, at the age of 87, from heart failure. Despite the personal hardships he faced, his portrayal of Kittering in Columbo remains a lasting legacy in the hearts of the audience. Ray Milland, who played Arthur Kennicott in Columbo in 1971, portrayed a wealthy and manipulative character with power and influence that complicated Columbo's investigation. When he took on the role, Milland was 64 years old, bringing a commanding presence and sharp intellect to the character, showcasing his acting talent developed over a long career in Hollywood. Kennicott, with his distinguished appearance and abundant resources, became a formidable adversary for Columbo. However, Milland's career declined in his later years as the film industry changed, and he had to accept smaller roles. Milland's personal life was equally tumultuous. His marriage to actress Muriel Weber ended in divorce after many struggles, leaving him with a son, Daniel, who became estranged from him. Milland's battle with alcoholism further clouded his final years, turning a life once full of praise and success into one marked by isolation and sadness. Ray Milland passed away on March 10, 1986, at the age of 79 from lung cancer, a tragic end for a man who once dominated Hollywood and left an indelible mark on audiences through his role as Arthur Kennicott in Columbo. And Francis, who played Nurse Sharon Martin in Columbo in 1972, portrayed a compassionate and caring character, offering a stable and nurturing presence amid the investigations. When she joined the role, Francis was 42 years old and displayed warmth and a caregiving personality, highlighting her acting talent. However, her personal life was far from as smooth as her on-screen portrayal. Francis went through 2 marriages, both of which ended in divorce. Her first marriage, to director and producer Bamlett Lawrence in 1950, resulted in a daughter but ended in separation. Her second marriage to stockbroker and real estate developer Robert S. Huff was also tumultuous, ending in separation after several years. Later in life, she struggled with financial instability as her career began to wane, and she faced deep sorrow when losing close friends to cancer. Despite attempting to continue acting, roles became scarce, and she also faced health challenges. And Francis passed away on January 2, 2011, at the age of 80 from complications related to pancreatic cancer. The tragedies in her life couldn't overshadow the contributions she made to cinema, particularly her portrayal of Nurse Sharon Martin in Columbo, a role that left a lasting impression on audiences. Jeanette Nolan, who played the intelligent and resourceful Kate O'Connell in Columbo in 1973, portrayed a strong and intellectual character, making her an unforgettable part of the series. At the time of her role, she was 62 years old, bringing a special presence filled with confidence and wisdom. However, her personal life was not as easy as her on-screen portrayal. Married to actor John McIntyre, they had 2 children, but their marriage was often strained as McIntyre was frequently absent, forcing Nolan to assume the role of a single mother for much of their time together. Though her career was successful, in later years, roles for older women became increasingly scarce, leaving her with fewer career opportunities. The greatest pain came when she lost her husband to cancer in 1991, leading to emotional distress. In her final years, Nolan struggled with her own declining health, eventually suffering a stroke. Jeanette Nolan passed away on June 5, 1998, at the age of 86. Her death reflected a life filled with suffering, loss, loneliness, and a career that, though promising, faded as she dealt with personal tragedies. Despite her difficult personal life, her portrayal of Kate O'Connell remains a powerful legacy and testament to her talent and contribution to the entertainment industry. James Gregory, who portrayed Coach Rizzo in Columbo in 1972, brought a strong and complex character to life. At the time of his role, Gregory was 61 years old and played a strict, practical Coach Rizzo with a harsh training style that concealed a deeply caring nature. Gregory's career spanned many decades, with notable roles in both television and film, often playing characters with authority and influence, reflecting strength and power. However, his personal life was not as smooth as his career. Gregory was married 3 times, but his relationships were often strained, particularly his third marriage, which ended in divorce. He also had difficulty maintaining relationships with his children, whom he felt distant from due to the demands of his career. In his later years, he was filled with regret, often reflecting on the sacrifices his career required and the cost it had on his family life. Despite health problems in his later years, Gregory continued to pursue his acting career until his death on September 16, 2002, at the age of 90 from natural causes. His death marked the end of a life full of achievement but also marked by personal challenges, where career and family often conflicted. Ida Lupino, who portrayed Doris Buckner in Columbo in 1972, created a complex and deep character. At the age of 54 when she took on the role, Lupino portrayed a strong, determined, and resolute Doris, often thrust into emotionally tense situations. Her character reflected resilience and inner strength, combining vulnerability and determination in every moment. Lupino's career spanned decades, with many notable roles in both film and television, often portraying strong and multidimensional women. However, Lupino's personal life was overshadowed by pain. Both of her marriages, to actor Louis Hayward and producer Collier Young, ended in divorce, and Lupino faced a solitary life as a single mother to her daughter, born from her second marriage. Her personal battles with depression and the scars from failed relationships followed her throughout her life. In her later years, Lupino struggled with the effects of a stroke, leading to increasing isolation and an inability to enjoy the illustrious career she had worked so hard to build. Ida Lupino passed away on August 3, 1995, at the age of 77. Her death marked the end of a life full of dedication and suffering, with a memorable career but a personal life often marked by sorrow and loss. Tim O'Connor, who portrayed Edward Lytton in Columbo in 1973, played a sharp and sophisticated character, with a clever intelligence that made Lytton a formidable opponent for Columbo. At the time of his role, O'Connor was 46 years old and portrayed a character full of schemes, creating an intriguing discord with Columbo's humble style. His career flourished, particularly with prominent roles in the series Buck Rogers in the 25th Century and other television projects. However, O'Connor's personal life was not as fulfilling. He went through 2 marriages, both ending in divorce, leaving him with pain and estrangement from his children. He often shared how his work kept pushing him away from his family, making him feel lonely and emotionally disconnected. In his later years, O'Connor found comfort in his work but always regretted the relationships he had lost. His career continued to thrive, but in his later years, he faced colon cancer, which ultimately claimed his life on April 5, 2018, at the age of 90. O'Connor's death reflected a life full of accomplishments but also tinged with regret for the losses in his personal life, where work and family happiness never fully aligned. Bernard Fox, who played Chief Inspector William Dirk in Columbo in 1972 at the age of 45, left a lasting impression on audiences with his portrayal of a precise, methodical, and professional inspector in each case. Fox's career spanned decades, with many memorable roles in both television and film, particularly in roles requiring integrity and decisiveness. However, Bernard Fox's personal life was not always smooth. Though he was married to Jacqueline and had children, he often faced a tug-of-war between his demanding career and family obligations. His fame and work on high-profile projects, especially in Columbo, caused tension in his relationships, sometimes leaving him emotionally distant from his family. Nonetheless, Bernard and Jacqueline remained married until the end of his life. In his later years, Bernard Fox battled serious health problems, particularly heart disease. Ultimately, he passed away on December 14, 2016, at the age of 89 after a long battle with heart failure. His death serves as a reminder of the sacrifices and challenges that come with fame and success, both in professional work and personal life. John Denner, who portrayed Admiral Otis Swanson in Columbo in 1974 at the age of 59, brought to life an image of a dignified and authoritative commander. His naval background added a distinct touch to his character. Denner's career spanned over 5 decades, during which he stood out in westerns, television, and voice acting, making him a memorable figure in the entertainment industry. However, his personal life was less smooth. Denner went through 2 marriages, both of which ended in divorce, and his relationship with his children was often strained. Emotional difficulties and personal regrets seemed to haunt him in his later years. His illustrious career in a high-pressure industry could not conceal the sadness and losses in his personal life. Denner passed away on February 4, 1992, at the age of 76 from emphysema and diabetes. His death marked the loss of one of the prominent faces in the film industry, a talented man filled with regret for the things left incomplete in his personal life. Sorel Book, who played the charming and eccentric Bertie Hastings in Columbo from 1974 at the age of 44, brought to life a character full of humor and personality that left a lasting impression on the audience. With his excellent acting skills and ability to convey the complexity of his character through charm and uniqueness, Book made a deep mark on viewers. However, his personal life was not easy. Married to Diane Bourne for many years, Sorel's marriage faced significant challenges due to the demanding nature of his acting career. His dedication to the profession led him to neglect family life, increasing tensions in their relationship. Eventually, the couple divorced, and Book's relationship with his children also became strained. At the peak of his career, Sorel Book faced another difficult battle when he was diagnosed with rectal cancer. Despite undergoing treatment, his health deteriorated, and the illness took away all of his time and strength. Sorel passed away on February 11, 1994, at the age of 64, leaving behind a legacy as a talented and memorable actor. His death was not only a loss for his fans, but also a cautionary tale about the price of fame and the personal sacrifices that few knew about. Leslie Nielsen, who portrayed the refined and sophisticated A.J. Henderson in Columbo in 1971 at the age of 45, became one of Hollywood's standout faces due to his versatility in playing both comedic and dramatic roles. Nielsen's character, A.J. Henderson, embodied sharpness and elegance, the epitome of a polished, perfect-looking individual, but with the dramatic suspense that Columbo often delivers. However, despite his career success, Nielsen's personal life was full of suffering. His first marriage to Monica Boyer ended in a bitter divorce, and his subsequent relationships were filled with turmoil. Nielsen's dedication to his craft and the demanding nature of his work caused him to be frequently absent from his family, creating emotional distance between him and his children. While he eventually remarried, his personal life never truly found peace. As Nielsen grew older, he faced health issues, including complications from pneumonia. Despite being widely recognized for his acting talent, his personal life was a sorrowful tale of lost relationships and regrets that could never be erased. Leslie Nielsen passed away on November 28, 2010, at the age of 84. The legacy he left was a great career in film, but also a reminder of the emotional wounds that the personal struggles caused throughout his life. Dean Stockwell, who played Eric Wagner in Columbo in 1972 at the age of 36, was a talented actor known for his charismatic and free-spirited performances. As Eric Wagner, Stockwell portrayed the character's intelligence, mystery, and inner turmoil, making his role one of the memorable highlights of the series. Stockwell's talent was not limited to Columbo but extended to other projects, most notably in Quantum Leap, where he found career redemption. However, Stockwell's personal life was turbulent and chaotic. His marriage to Joy Marquet faced great strain, primarily due to Stockwell's ongoing struggles with addiction and unresolved emotional issues. Despite his immense talent, his addiction and the scars of his past heavily affected his relationships and health. Though Stockwell eventually found peace in his career in later years, the shadow of his past lingered, creating a tragic story of personal struggles that were never reconciled with his external success. Dean Stockwell passed away on November 7, 2021, at the age of 85 from natural causes. His death marked the end of a life filled with both brilliance and an ongoing struggle with himself. Patrick O'Neill, who played ambitious architect Elliot Markham in Columbo in 1972 at the age of 45, made a mark with his ability to portray complex, conflicted characters. As Elliot Markham, O'Neill conveyed the boldness and determination of a man whose ambitions push him past barriers but who is caught in unpredictable situations he cannot control, showcasing the talent of a capable actor. However, O'Neill's life outside of acting was tumultuous. His marriage to actress Tippi Walker ended in divorce, largely due to the pressures of his acting career and personal issues, leading him to face significant emotional losses. Despite his passion for the profession, the demands of fame and work caused him to become estranged from his family, creating tension in his relationships with his children. In his later years, O'Neill's health severely declined as he faced respiratory issues, which impacted his ability to work and daily life. His battle with illness became a poignant symbol of the hardships and sacrifices that many famous people endure. Patrick O'Neill passed away on September 9, 1994, at the age of 66, due to respiratory failure. His death was a major loss to the film industry, and his life tells a tragic story of the price of fame, where personal struggles and health issues ultimately took his life. Timothy Carey, who portrayed Bert in Columbo in 1971 at the age of 42, left a lasting impression with his eccentric and erratic character. Bert was an unpredictable and chaotic character, showcasing Carey's excellent acting skills in a challenging role. This performance helped him become one of the memorable actors in the Columbo series. However, Carey's career was deeply affected by his personal issues. In addition to his acting talent, Carey's life was full of turmoil. He struggled with severe depression and alcoholism, which affected his relationships and career. His first marriage to actress Shirley J. Carey was destroyed by infidelity and ultimately ended in divorce. Despite these hardships, Carey continued to land notable roles, such as in The Killing, 1956, but his personal life seemed to never find stability. His second marriage also faced instability, with financial difficulties and emotional distance. His inner demons continued to impact his health, and he ultimately passed away on May 11, 1994, at the age of 65 after suffering a stroke. Carey's death marked the end of a life full of passion for acting, but also a tragic story of personal struggles that never ended. Darryl Zwirling, who portrayed Louis Lacey in Columbo in 1974 at the age of 46, made a strong impression with his quirky, meticulous, and somewhat eccentric character. While he portrayed a character full of finesse on screen, Zwirling's personal life was far from meticulous or stable. His first marriage ended due to mutual infidelity and poor communication, resulting in emotional damage. Although he tried to enter into a second marriage, that relationship also faced significant challenges, and tensions with his children led him to feel increasingly isolated and unable to maintain connections. In addition to family issues, Zwirling faced financial and health difficulties, factors that exacerbated his emotional struggles. Despite his recognition for unique roles in Columbo, his personal life became overshadowed by the issues in his real life. Darryl Zwirling passed away on April 11, 2014, at the age of 85, after a life filled with upheaval. His death marked the end of a talented man, but also a sad story about personal difficulties he never fully overcame. Robert Carnes, who portrayed Grover in Columbo in 1972 at the age of 55, brought a methodical and diligent personality to his character, completely contrasting with his own tumultuous personal life. The character Grover, with his seriousness and hard work, became a memorable figure in the series, but Carnes's real life was far from easy. Carnes's first marriage ended in a bitter divorce after years of infidelity and neglect, leading to his estrangement from his children. His second marriage also faced significant challenges, including financial difficulties and emotional strain, eventually resulting in another failed relationship. Despite achieving success in his career with notable roles in The Fugitive, 1963, and The Twilight Zone, 1960, Carnes struggled to maintain a stable family life. His later years were marked by loneliness and a sense of isolation. Robert Carnes passed away on December 4, 1979, at the age of 62 due to heart failure. His death marked a sad ending for a talented man, but also tells the story of personal struggles he could never overcome. Joshua Bryant, who played Dr. McMurray in Columbo in 1974 at the age of 34, made a lasting impression with his portrayal of a compassionate and skilled character. However, Bryant's real life was full of complications and difficulties. His first marriage ended in emotional turmoil when his wife had an affair, causing him to spiral into depression and become emotionally withdrawn. Bryant's second marriage was also challenging, as he struggled to reconnect with his daughter from the first marriage, leading to increased isolation. Though his career was praised with roles in The Streets of San Francisco, 1973, and Mission: Impossible, 1971, Bryant's personal life was deeply affected by unresolved pain and family conflicts. His later years were filled with loneliness, and he gradually withdrew from public life. Joshua Bryant passed away on June 25, 2024, at the age of 83 after a long battle with emotional scars from failed relationships and the burden of personal tragedy. His death marked the end of a life full of ups and downs, where his memorable acting career was overshadowed by the sorrow in his personal life. Don Kiefer, who portrayed the medical examiner in Columbo in 1971 at the age of 55, made a significant impact with his professional and precise performance, showing expertise and competence in his work. However, Kiefer's personal life was far from simple. His first marriage ended in painful divorce, and his second marriage also faced numerous stresses, as both spouses struggled with financial and emotional difficulties. These issues led Kiefer to feel increasingly isolated, lacking support from family in his later years. Despite having a successful career with roles in The Twilight Zone, 1962, and Perry Mason, 1960, Kiefer's personal life became a series of emotional challenges and strained relationships. In his later years, Kiefer lived in solitude and continued to struggle with health issues, including depression. Don Kiefer passed away on September 7, 2014, at the age of 98 from natural causes. His death marked the end of a long life, full of highs and lows, with an impressive career but also many personal hardships he faced throughout his life. Thank you for visiting our channel. Who is your favorite character from Columbo? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to catch the latest videos.